got this figure coming across, and they got it booking in car. No face on it, nothing. Hey, good. I'm getting interested now, I'm going to start. It's going to
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let's make a start. So you are hereby summoned to attend the meeting of Hemsworth Town Council to be held in the main hall at Hemsworth Town Council Community Centre, Bullenshaw Road, Hemsworth, commencing at 7 p.m. on the 6th of February 2025 for the purpose of transacting the following business. Item number 1, apologies for absence. Item number 2, declarations of interest. Item number 3, Town Council meetings. To approve the minutes of the council meetings on the 5th of December 2024, 9th of January 2025, and of the extraordinary council meetings on the 10th of September 24, 10th of October 24, 19th of December 24, and 2nd of January 2025 as detailed in the minute book 2024-25. Hello.
9th of January minutes are incorrect.
Yeah.
It's got planning, 150 planning, resolved to contact Wakefield Council for more information regarding the planning of a new pump for Vale Park. I did put that forward. Councillor Rushmore stated it was Vicky's motion. Vicky wanted, Vicky, you took it to a vote, said one of the objections going in. Yeah. So it got a motion for Vicky.
Okay, so.
Got objections to go in, so that's incorrect.
Okay, so subject to that change, everybody else happy with everything else?
Yeah.
So 10th of December, I'll be abstaining, because I wasn't here.
Okay. So if you make the changes to the, come on, what item on it, please? Is that what?
I've made a note.
No. So subject to that change, is everybody happy to move the minutes? Have we got a second there? All for? Not this one, though. All against?
Just about 10th of September, abstain.
It's not recorded, so that's fine. Item number 4, accounts for payments. To confirm the payments of accounts for December 2024. So, yeah, I'll second that.
I have a few questions.
Oh, sorry, it's the end.
Sorry. There is a payment on there for Cemetery Lane, electrics. There is 2 payments, one in for road management, 2 payments, and there's one in back for road.
So I believe road management for closing the roads during the
You see road blocks.
road blocks.
There's 2. There's one in
One for-
there's one in
for
backs,
Kingsley.
one in backs, and one in direct debit, and the same serial number, same numbers.
Do you know the dates of the, not the backs one, the, oh sorry, yeah.
I just querying because it's same numbers.
I saw 2 at the start, one was 160 and the 400. We'll look into
the query that.
We'll look into notebooks, we'll query that. As I took it as it was, one for Fitzwilliam for the remembrance, and then one for.
Yeah, there's one for Fitzwilliam and Hemsworth.
Yeah.
There, and those 2 together. So
Yeah, we need to check all the boxes, correct. But other than that, so to check that, but then. Not just confirm it, it's not all this one.
you can, well, vote to confirm.
So all vote to confirm. Can I have a seconder? All for? All against? And obviously rest abstentions. So item number 5, income. To review the council's income for December 2024. These have all been sent out to our councillors. Review, so we've got
In all honesty, I haven't seen the income for December. I've got the back's payments and the payments. I didn't see. Presumably they've sent out.
Yeah, it came from Harriet.
Sorry?
Came from Harriet.
Right. Okay.
Sorry, it came from another member of staff.
Right, okay, thank you.
It was
A
sent.
few councillors have had the same problem. Some received backs, some haven't. Some have received income, some haven't.
But they're
It
all
was
on.
sent on the 3rd of February.
Yeah, 3rd of February, all councillors on the list.
It was blank out copy for it.
Yeah, so we'll check on that, but yeah. So, review, so can I have a seconder?
Second.
All for? So, all against? And then rest abstentions. So item number 6, can I have this as a recorded vote, please? So item 6, budget and precept 2025-26. To approve the budget for the financial year 2025-26 and to authorise the town clerk to issue the formal precept request to Wakefield Council. So all councillors received the three draft budgets, if you like. One for a 5.5% increase, one for a 6.5% increase, and one for an 8% increase. The reason that a 0% increase was not sent out is it's considered not a viable option, and potentially it could lead to insolvency towards the end of the council if we don't put it up. We appreciate people are struggling at the time, but also the council doors have gone up. If councillors want me to, or the public would like to give you some actual pounds and pence. So, if I'll do 2 bands, I'll do band A and band D. So band D is normally the one that generally is the accepted one to report on, I believe. So a 5.5% increase, and that's per year?
That's for the whole year.
Yeah. So band A, on a 5.5% increase, would be an extra £11.97. And band D would be £17.95.
That's per annum.
That's per annum, yes, that's per annum. A 6.5% increase, band A, would be per annum £12.11. So a difference of pennies, 14 pence. So it would be £12.11, and a band D would be £18.16. An 8% increase in pounds and pence would be, for a band A, would be £12.25, and for a band D would be £18.37. They, as I say, they are all per annum, so a little over £1 a month for a band A, or just under £1 a month, depending which percentage that is approved tonight.
Chair.
Yep.
I just want to weigh in with the clerk's recommendation because I've spoken to the clerk at length about this. The 5.5 increase advised by the clerk wouldn't be a great idea. The 6.5 increase would be acceptable but not ideal. And the 8% would be an ideal increase to comfortably run as is.
So I'll put it open, so Councillor Conway?
Yeah, can I just, last year, we were told exactly the same thing. The chair told me, because I said to him, I don't want to be seen as...
Can you, public can't hear you, Kev, sorry.
I questioned the chair last year, I said...
So let him.
I says,
Don't mind.
Oh, is it on?
No.
Right. same thing happened last year. The clerk told me 18% would clear all debts and it would replenish the reserves. Now I ask now, have the reserves been replenished?
As per the meeting on the 2nd of January, you're well aware that they haven't. No.
Right. So, who's worked this out this year then? Is it the same people who worked it out last year?
We're not getting into those work what and what out. That's not to be discussed in open.
Well, it needs to be, because the public need to know.
Sorry. Well, no, sorry, we can't. That will then be highlighting staff, and we're not highlighting staff in these meetings.
It's highlighting the council. The council wouldn't
It's highlighting the staff. And
no increase. They did last year.
I mean, I'm assuming that it was worked out and discussed with there was no finance committee, so I'm assuming it was discussed in length with the chair and vice chair at the time.
There is a finance
No,
committee.
you're on about last year when there wasn't.
This year, you've worked it out again this year, same as last year.
Last year's budget was set by, I'm not blaming people, I'm just it's fact. You mentioned last year that we said we're going to put it up by a certain amount. Right. It go up by a certain amount, and that would replenish us the reserves. Yeah. That was done by the previous chair and deputy chair at the time. So the discussions they had with whether they did at the time, I'm unaware of that. On what was discussed. You are right, that was said. We have admitted, and there will be a statement later on about overspends. There was one in December or January this year. We have done where there has been some overspends. I think you requested it yourself, Councillor Conway, and it was discussed about. There is some additional costs in there which we will unbudgeted spend, which we will add to it at the time. So yes, we are in a sticky situation. We are not hiding that fact, and we are admitting. I think when I got chair, I asked if we could save 10% on each budget. We haven't done that, and I'll hold my hands up to that. We haven't done it for various reasons, various costs. A lot unbudgeted, not a lot unbudgeted, some unbudgeted, and wages, general increase in bills, and that sort of thing. So you're right. Again, also, what we'll add is the reason, in my opinion, the reason we're having to do such large percentages, even though it's this relatively small amount, and I appreciate £12 a lot of money to a lot of people, like a pound a month or so over, is, and I'm going back years here, not recently. There was no precept rise for like 3 years, from 2019 to 2021, I think it was, 22. You can't not cut and not put precept up when your wages, like I've seen on social media about staff wages where increased it by 5%. We're legally bound by
Contractually bound by the NJC.
Yeah, so we're contractually bound by the NJC to increase wages by 5%. We've got to pay a pay rise. We're legally bound to it by contracts, and that's the figure we've got to legally bound.
The only problem I've got is, you just said I haven't requested financial detail. Going back 3 months and I still haven't received it.
There was all discussed, there was a big printout and everybody discussed it. I'm unaware if it was a meeting, but there was a big, and I think we actually said everybody seemed to like the way it was formatted out, I believe, at the time. And it's like, that's what we're going to report from now on, that way.
When will that be meeting?
Yesterday.
No, that was a meeting between councillors, some councillors and some members of the public at the time, and that was obviously discussed this, and it was also to look at, just come up with brainstorm ideas for saving money, basically. Well, these are given out, but then there was that other one that Ian's now got here that was discussed. Yeah. With, that's just suggestions. So I want to make it clear that is just suggestions. There's nothing guaranteed in there, nothing set in stone. It was just what can we do, and then we'd look at it. So, for example, and this would be a contentious one. It was like the lights, Christmas lights in Hemsworth are paid for by Wakefield, whereas Kingsley Fitzwilliam they're not, and cost £6,000. And like, well, no, we can't do that because that's
wrong anyway.
That would that's clearly affecting one portion of the community. Whereas flowers were discussed, and it's like, well, for a year let's not have them because that's at least everybody's been treated the same. So this was just ideas and suggestions, so for those who've got it and got it.
Can I
that's
ask
fine.
you, what was at meeting last night? Anybody?
When is this getting agreed then?
Yeah,
It's just in discussion at the moment.
they all want to, they need copies on it.
But it will go out to public before.
Essentially,
Yeah, it's got to be voted on, yeah.
essentially, the lesser the
Some
precept rise, the more cuts will be made.
Yeah. If we were to do a 5%, basically everything's got to be cut literally to the bone.
Can
So,
councillors get copies of that as well, please?
yes, there was plenty of copies for councillors who couldn't attend yesterday, but we can get that to
Is
people.
there someone in office now where I can get some copies made?
Well, we could ask.
The biggest problem we've got here, like, not only me, there's councillors here who just never got any financial detail.
Liam.
So we couldn't come to that meeting last night, because obviously we don't know, we can't suggest anything, there's nothing to work on.
So the meeting last night was this one that everybody's been given and got sent on Monday.
That was at the finance
Yeah,
meeting.
you did.
No.
They were
Alpha.
giving out at the finance meeting.
They were given a finance meeting, Andrew then sent them out on, I believe it was Monday. They were sent out, I've seen the email.
On the emails we've received, it's thought the meeting today.
We shall look, but yeah, there was sent, he was on the chase, I've seen it.
We stated this before, when you're sending emails out, put them in a chain for all. You're sending them out blindly, and people are not getting them, so you can't argue it.
They're sent out blindly, so there's no pile-ups in emails, that's why they're sent out that way.
It's been stated though, all you've got to do is turn the messaging off, Sean.
Okay, we'll do that. The simple solution is just not to do pile-ups.
Yeah, sure. But simple solution is that if a councillor comes up and says they haven't got it, then there's 14 other councillors to say, yeah, you did, because it's here, your name's on it.
Another problem is you get an email with 15 attachments.
Can I just say with this motion is particularly about this budget, we're now getting into things that's not regarding this budget.
The clerk sent it on the 19th.
So that was
19th.
19th of January, we all sent now, so we need to check the draw on the line, CC.
Check how many attachments there are. I mean, the people like me who's ill, I've got to have limited time off of duty, because it's very.
I thought you were getting yours printed, Kev.
Never took me, you never get it, I still get them and I can't read them.
Come over again.
That's why I can't vote on anything, because I don't get it.
I got my printed out.
Can I just say, we're getting away from what the motion is, and we need to keep on what the motion is. So, going back to the motion itself, so has any other councillors regarding the budget or the proposed got any other comments? Yeah.
Can I just ask, I forgot to mention last night when within the public that were there and the councillors, with the cafe bar being leased out,
Yes.
we mentioned a figure of how much we're going to be saving because we're not going to be buying the food. Can you remember what that was? Was it about 100,000?
I'm not, I can't say.
Has that, whatever the figure is, it doesn't matter. Has that been factored in to the fact that we're going to be spending less on food? So therefore, is there a need for an increase?
There is a need for an increase, as we've said, if you want to not increase at all.
But has the fact that we're going to be saving on food been factored into it?
That's been factored into these
Yes.
figures here, which in turn lead into the proposed.
Yes. So yes, that's a short answer to that.
Right.
So have I got anybody else to say, anything to say? Hello?
I'm just going on what's on there, so, you want to raise the budget, which precept, which we have to. But this, which you've given out to people, is stating price hikes.
So
We can't give him one, take him one hand and give away another. You're asking him to raise something,
yeah.
and then you're raising that again for public. So, example on the football, I'm sorry, to use football midfield, there's a raise to use your centre. So if you're going to raise a precept, you're raising that as well, so they're paying
That
twice on
isn't
that.
necessarily being raised.
That's not
So
being
the
raised.
higher the increase, the less we will need to make cuts. And they are potential cuts that we will have to make. But there is no decision on those cuts.
Nothing's decisions. It was just brainstorming. Where
That's
can we save money? That's all it was.
Yeah.
Because even with a budget of 8%, even if we were to increase 8%, we do need to make some savings. We can't just keep on. It's nice to do. It's brilliant to do. It's brilliant to have lots of different things and different people. Do things cheap, let things, you know, go a lot cheaper. But we just, at the moment, like every other council, I believe, we just cannot continue as we are without running a few things. Catherine?
I don't think a lot of people realise that with the budget that has just taken place and about raising the national insurance
Yeah.
that employers
Yeah.
have got to pay,
Yeah.
I don't think anybody realises just what that means to the council.
I imagine that's tens of thousands extra.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just that increase itself.
And
will
that
be,
in itself makes it that you have to put up your costs because you hadn't budgeted that was going to take
no, of course,
place.
it's just happened a few.
And again, we don't know what she's going to do in March.
No, exactly.
There's all the talk of that she's going to put up taxes and everything.
Yeah.
So you need to be making provisions for that as well.
Yeah, so I think, and I'll be corrected if I'm wrong here, I think the reason that 8% has come up is the 5% that you have to pay for staffing costs, and 3.5%, which is the cost of living.
Yeah.
So that's where we've come to the 8%, that's where we've come to the 8%.
Why does it have to be 8% though? Again, do you know how many people are using food banks, one
We
spaces?
100% appreciate that, yes.
There's all these single people that can't afford cost of living.
We agree, and neither can the council, so that's why we're keen to give you the pound, shillings and pence. So the pound, shillings and pence is a pound a
Yeah,
pound
but
a
it's
month.
not pound, shilling and pence to them. If you're a single person, that pound is like 20 pounds.
I've been there on years ago when I was younger, I appreciate
Somebody
it.
should understand it.
We do understand, but we've got...
Well, obviously you don't.
But equally, if you don't put up the precept, there won't be.
Yeah, but it's all right for you, Kathy. You're all right in your house.
No, we need to stop this, ongoing. Can I point of order? So, I think we're going to move, is our councillors on the thing, so have we got a proposal?
I propose 5%.
I propose an 8% increase.
So we've got two proposals here.
I second 8%.
I propose
No.
0.
Hang on, we need to, there's been... Well, we did. Hang on.
Yeah, we can vote for them in order. Yeah.
So,
We've had a proposal in a second of 3.
so we've had a proposal in a second. Excuse me. So we've had a proposal in a second for 8%. Did I hear 0%?
When has it got to be in for this?
Today.
Today.
Can't be deferred. Because we have to report, we have to send our application off to Wakefield tomorrow.
Can I just say then, the people who made this decision again,
There's no councils that make this decision now.
no, the budget, and they're very saying we inherited the budget with 0 overspend, a massive increase last year, and put us on virgin land.
I don't want to go into that because that's clearly wrong.
Jeff,
So
if we do not vote on an increase, we will be going into bankruptcy.
Yeah.
Right, so that is irresponsible in itself.
So ladies and gentlemen, so we've got a proposal in a second for 8%. Have we got any more proposals for any other figures?
0%.
Have we got a second for 0%? So we've got,
6.5.
hang on, let's do one at a time, please. So, and then we've got one for 6%,
6.5.
6.5%. So the first proposal, so
No seconder for mine, yes.
there's no second for 6%.
But I know of. It's
Yeah, the
seconded.
second of it. So what do we do on this one? Oh, 8% first, isn't it? Yeah. So,
Or if you want, you can just vote for each.
okay, so councillors who want to vote for an 8% increase, up hands up.
And bear with me, Chair. So. That's 5.
All those for the
0.
0% increase? Can I just add to councillors that they are now legally viable?
We know.
Potentially. This is legally, you're legally responsible, potentially.
Hands up.
Hands up, please. Yeah, that's what it's all about.
To be fair, it is.
Point of order.
What's your point of order?
Yeah, it is point of order.
What's your point of order, please? Yeah, you stop interrupting. Nobody's talking. 6.5%.
And when that gets fixed next year, we know it's all right.
No.
Can I just ask a question, please?
Yeah, can Val.
Right. There's no increase. Things stop as they are. What is going to happen to this council?
All your
Right,
services.
so no increase, council shut down, staff will be made redundant, Sandygate will have to be shut, everything will be
And I
stopped.
hope everybody's happy at that.
So do I.
Yes.
Can I just clarify that?
Dial.
Can I just clarify the vote?
Everything's finished.
Everybody relies
Can I
on.
clarify the vote, please? I've got 5, 6 and 3. That's
I
14.
mean, everybody's wanting money.
14 votes.
That's what I've got as well, yeah.
Yeah, somebody hasn't voted.
I voted.
Do that vote again. Yeah, it should be. It's
So we're missing a vote,
supposed to be 6.
Me?
You could have said 6.
I'll vote for that.
For what?
for which one?
6.
6%.
That's
So
4.
Pete's got 6%.
Yeah, that's 15.
So, item number 7, cleaning contract. I suggest that gets moved to the,
Can't pay
You can't afford it.
yeah. Oh, yeah. That means putting into exclusion, sorry. Gerald?
What was the result?
The result is no increase.
No increase.
No increase.
That means
So when will this place shut then?
Does that mean,
Probably within the next 12 months.
does that mean that it automatically then will
Sit down
go
now.
back to wait?
Hang on.
Wakefield to come in.
Maxine, can we
Maxine.
let Gerald answer?
Does that mean that it will automatically revert to Wakefield now?
No?
No.
You will lose all services. All services. The buildings, the park, the lot.
So buildings, trips, grants, Sandygate shut down potentially, all that sort of stuff, it's done.
I
That
don't.
is wrong, that you are giving wrong information to the public.
I don't think.
We can't because we're
You
going
are
to
giving wrong information to the public.
Ladies and gentlemen, point of order, we're going to continue with the meeting. So, cleaning contract, and move on to exclusion, please, because it's going to be discussing. Item number 8, planning, to receive an update on the planning for the new pump station at Valehead Park. So, Vicky,
This
is
was
yours?
me. So this one on last one, and obviously we want some more information, and objections to go in. Public could put their objections in, but there is a parishioner who has been working on this very kindly for us. Julie, would you like to explain what's happened? Thank you.
I've been in touch with, now it's not planning. At one of the meetings not so long ago, one of the councillors said she spoke to planning. It's actually not at that stage yet. The number for the Valehead disposal of the open space, DCO 1042, is actually with a company called Property Services Management, and it's there where the email objections will have been dispatched to. Now, there has been a problem with the email objections, which I found out about when I inquired as to what was going on, what was happening. Some of you may have not realised, if you've got spam or whatever, I know Elaine is one of them and several residents may have to contact. Anybody that put an objection in, particularly anybody of the people from the LP 1511 site as well, who I know have been supporting LP21, if your objection was accepted, you'll have received this email. And it's from PFM Services where your objections went. So basically saying they acknowledge the response of your email objection. Now, if you're under the impression that you did do an objection and you haven't received this email, it's because from my calls, I found out there'd been a problem. And I contacted our district councillor, Melanie Jones, for assistance on this, and also made the calls again today. And I've got a contact name and details. Vicky, I've given your name as councillor. You should have been receiving an email from Abigail Ellis, and she's part of the PFM Services. Nothing to do with planning. It's not actually got to that stage. It's actually with the full service management at the moment for real estate management team at Wakefield 1. And they are looking at everybody's objections that's been submitted online before even it's gone to consultation. So it's not even at the planning stage. So everybody that did object, if you haven't received that email, you need to check your spam. There were some problems using the lowercase of PFM Services. I know 3 we got corrected, and I know the council at that meeting did say they were going to ask Wakefield HTC for an extension. And I know personally from speaking to him today, there was only 1 day extension and the final objections were closed on the 17th of January. And I don't believe HTC did put an objection in. The residents and parishioners that I've contacted, I know you've been well, Elaine, you were able to resubmit. Yeah, and they gave us 1 day extension. And I've got a contact details and even a mobile number, Vicky. You can ring and clarify it all. For anybody that is out there watching it on Zoom, if you think you did object to the proposed losing of more green space at Valehead for the drainage pumping service station, if you didn't receive an email saying that you've been accepted, you may need to check, and I think we ought to get it posted, Vicky, the contact number for the PFM Services at Wakefield. And again, it is not with planning. It's actually with the real estate management team that are looking at all the objections before it goes to consultation.
Thank you. So can we have that contact number and name put on our website?
Yeah,
please. You've got it, Julia. It's thank you. Thank you for your work on that.
So that was just it. So item number 9, finance. Consider public inquiry into the current state of Hemsworth Town Council finances. Councillor Conway?
Yeah, okay, I'll really say to you inherited 0 overspend and a massive increase in precept, which was going to clear all our debts, everything runs smoothly. 5 weeks ago, sorry, 6 weeks ago, Chair of Finance Committee said, and I quote, I've had a meeting with clerks and we've come out and I'm very happy because we're good to go. 3 weeks later, we voted to deduct reserves. Some people said we didn't have to do it.
So I'll touch on one there. There was an overspend of £268,000. What we come into. There was no debt, I agree, but there was £206,000 overspend on the previous budget. What is your motion? What are you wanting to vote on? Well, what is your motion? You've not come up with a motion yet.
To investigate it, because that's a false statement for the start.
So investigate what we investigate. There needs to be a clear motion.
False statements again. That's a public saying you have £200,000 overspend on the one.
So what is your motion? You're still not come up with a motion.
Investigation into the finances.
Private investigation. We're going to pay for this investigation because we've no money now.
Well, you were warned about this 6 months ago. Sorry, 8 months ago.
Okay, so you're wanting to pay for the financial investigations. So could I just put, so we're still waiting a response from last year's external investigation, financial investigation, the AGAR, which I believe, as it's been publicly put, some did come back, 50% just come back as that's actually nothing to do with this. So a lot of it wasn't relevant, as we said in the meeting. Oh, sorry, around 50%, that's just a rough figure. Also, there is the internal audit that is happening in a few months. that happens every year, which is independent internal audit. Last time we asked for an investigation, the sum, this was a few years ago, was £6,500. And so we don't know what it is now, that was. So your proposal is to look into an external investigation and pay for it.
See, precept payers, I think precept for last year. We tell them again to put it up this year.
We're not, we're not. We've told them there's no precept mines this year, so that's...
Yeah, but that's what you proposed, though, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%, because the clerks suggested that 0% is not a viable option, and council have gone against the advice of the clerk. Right, so put your motion forward, and we'll have a seconder.
Isn't that a recommended part of proper practices?
What's on it?
What Kev just proposed.
We have an internal audit, we have an audit.
But it's recommended as part of the proper practices as a list of items of references. What Kev could use.
He's put a motion forward, so let's vote on it. That's what I'm saying. So, put your motion forward.
Now you've handled the finance.
So the same thing the auditor does.
So you want us to do the same thing that the auditor does?
He wants to do an independent accountant, accountant to look at accounts.
Which is what we have been...
Right.
Which we have anyway.
But the information coming back to council does not tally with... The information that's being reported to council is not tallying with facts.
All this can be put to the internal auditor.
Yeah, so what we can do is all these queries can be put to the internal auditor if that's what you want. But we have to do anyway.
An accountant should be good at its books so that we know we're right for this internal audit.
And for last year as well.
Yeah.
That is, yeah.
Yes, she's an accountant.
Yeah.
It is an accountant, does it?
Can we do last year as well then?
We've already done last year. We've already done it.
Well, scrutinise that though.
So the motion's been made to do an additional audit. However, there is the option of just putting these questions to the auditor who's coming in a couple of months. You don't want that. You want a separate audit than the one we've already got. Please let me explain. The internal auditor is an independent auditor. She's not a staff. It's not our staff that do it. It's independent. So you want to pay for another independent on top of the independent we already have? Yes. So you want two?
Yes.
Okay. So that's your proposal. Have we got a seconder for Councillor Conway's proposal?
Just clarify something. They don't do an audit, the internal audit. So they use the AGAR, which is a snapshot. The accounts are not audited.
Yeah, no, that's not true. The internal auditor does a thorough look at the accounts. So they don't.
It was said last year. I think Jason has done up first, but we need to be quick, so I want to get things moved on.
All I'm going to say is, we're talking about external auditors, internal auditors, they were essentially the same thing.
Yes.
I think what the confusion is, what it will need to make clear, is the terms of reference for which they want included in the audit. Yeah. So the standard internal audit will do an overview of all the accounts and will report back. Yes. However, you can put terms of reference in there, which is what they will specifically look into if there's a specific concern. So initially, if your internal auditors are due, why don't you amend those terms of reference before you then consider an external audit?
Can I just reply to that? That's a good idea.
Yes.
The scope of the internal audit has already been approved by council. However, it is quite broad. It includes all aspects of finance and governance. Specific questions, though, can be put to an internal auditor, and that wouldn't require a motion. It can just be. Can just be put to.
The main issue seems to be the belief of overspend. So why not just add overspend as a term of reference in the internal audit, where they will specifically indicate in that report where that overspend has come from, and if the overspend has been done in conjunction with the financial regulations the council has.
So you've just explained a lot better than what I was trying to get across. So that's what I'm trying to say. So
that was said the other
going back to Councillor Conway, do you want a separate audit, or basically what Jason says, where we pick specific references?
What Jason said makes perfect sense if we're involved in that.
You will not be involved in an audit.
So who'll get involved? Well, who's setting the terms of reference?
No, yes, sorry. You'll be set the terms of reference. Yes, sorry.
We're getting no feedback from you at all.
the gentleman's just said there regarding, so you're on about overspends, so let's put overspends on it.
So, put a motion forward.
We don't need a motion, we can just discuss it.
Amend the terms of reference to include overspend as a specific item in the internal audit. And then when we do the report, we'll summarise it, and then at that point, if you're still not happy, then you can vote for it.
So, we'll do it as a motion if you want, just to make sure there's a vote for it.
Just tell me how much overspend is there this year?
How much for the
Well,
last year?
at the minute,
How about this year?
at the minute,
About last year.
hang on a moment, so, at the minute, I believe we
We were about
estimating.
We were about 10% last at the end of December.
So December were 10% overspend. Sorry, in December was roughly 10% overspend.
How many pence like the increase was?
What about previous
I mean,
year?
well, I mean, I think we said on the 2nd of January that we're estimating by the end of the year we will be £59,000, give or take, I believe we said. We're estimating at that. 52,000. So we're estimating it being £52,000 over. Yes, you are correct, we had probably £50,000 to £60,000 extra precepts than we did the year before. However, the year before, I believe the over budget was 260 something.
Yeah.
And I will say now, just to stop any rumours, every penny is accounted for. There's nothing gone missing, nothing's been stolen. I will reiterate that because I've got accused again saying nothing's been stolen. It's accounted for, it's there.
Who voted on this overspend? If you've overspent it, somebody's voted for it. Full council.
You probably did.
There was a vote on this. Anyway, we're getting.
Never put it full council.
It does. All finance.
So, Councillor Conway, it's not, but anyway, we can argue all day. The £52,000 overspend went to an extraordinary meeting on the 2nd of January where we agreed to take money out of our reserves. So it was to become a council. Are you happy with that, or do you want an additional motion?
I want to be involved with the terms of reference.
So the terms of reference, yes.
Every council, not just a select few.
Check. That'd have to come back to council anyway to change the scope of the internal audit.
Councillors, a couple of questions.
Would have to be
that
it would have to be a second.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so we'll put that on the next agenda. Okay.
So Councillor White has just said, can councillors put questions forwards for auditors?
You can at additional costs, I believe.
Probably not.
Okay.
Probably
I might
not.
have that.
Probably no additional
That's
cost.
good, that one, okay?
So are councillors happy that they can put in terms of reference for the external audit, the internal audit, which is an external audit, and that will come to the next council meeting. So I'm sure the council will put that motion in. So item 10, council and committee motion. So this is in two parts. To approve that no motion for any activity be brought to the council or any committees unless it is expected to be at least cost neutral. So again, this was an idea just for, for a time period, if you like, just to try and get to an even keel.
We split anyway, so we can.
Well, so we just go with motions.
Yeah.
So I would like to propose that we approve this motion. Have I got a seconder?
1 second.
This is
motion
first motion
10A.
It's 10A. So 10A, all for?
I don't think you can have that motion. It's an agree to agree. You can't have an agree to agree.
Okay, so I'll change the motion, which I'm allowed to do. To approve that no motion, it can be brought to the council unless it is cost neutral or positive.
An agree to agree. Contractual, you can't have a motion that agrees to agree something that's unknown.
I'll suggest that we change the wording of this and bring it back to it.
Okay, we'll reword it slightly.
I'm not being awkward about it, I should say you, because
That's fine. So item B, to approve the no motion for any activity with regard to the council or any committees if it is expected to significantly increase workload, which will be the same, we'll bring that back.
Deferring it then.
Deferring it, yeah. Reword it. Item 11, public question time. To receive questions from members of the public and to receive any reports from community meetings. Everybody?
Could I just ask, the proposed expenditure for Sandygate next year, does the 76,000 include the 14,000 required to do the lights?
No. We're looking at funding for that, although that's now.
How long is this going to take? Because as we're sat here now, Sandygate's shut, as there's no lights on. So again, with 5-6 teams tonight, no training.
We're aware of the situation, we appreciate the difficulties. We are looking for funding, it's something the council definitely can't afford now. We're going to have to look at everything at the moment. So that's all I can say, it's being looked at. I think Val had a hand up first. Val?
You know how we're having this meeting, external meeting over. I mean, I'm sick.
You're not think Val.
But what I want to know is, how far back are you going?
For what?
This external.
Well, this is it's financial year to financial year.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah,
So why does Conway want it?
It's the council's right to request motions, I believe. His reasons why is up to him to decide. Oh, I can't answer why. But
Because there's been awfully quiet.
well, not on Facebook, they haven't. Maxine, you had your hand up?
So now you've voted for a no increase. Will you be selling all the assets off before we try and save the council? What will happen to Water Park and what will happen to everything else?
Well, I think we can pretty certain say the water park won't be sold off. I think we can almost sit here and say no, we're not sold water park off.
How can you guarantee that?
Well, to be fair, we can't guarantee anything, no.
I think to be fair, it's just, we knew that if it was 0%, that basically we couldn't afford anything. So it's, I was hoping common sense would prevail, Maxine, but obviously not.
It's never been a common sense.
Well, no, basically they want to screw it. They've been wanting to screw it for months.
Well, I'm not being funny, but they split them up with Fitzwilliam and Kingsley.
Point of order, we can't be start saying stuff. If people agree to see, we can't
Well,
say things
in
like
my
that.
opinion.
Potentially we can't say that. There's a gentleman at the back there who had his hand up first.
Just echoing what Dale said regarding funding with lights proposed. Western Terrace have actually offered to pay for these lights. Obviously there's a peppercorn agreement to get some free training to cover costs. We had a company in-house to do this, spotlights. Like Dale says, there's 5 teams off tonight. I've got 15 kids who can't train, getting called at last minute when we've still got daylight at 10 to 6. So some of the teams could have played still. Obviously we're trying to keep these children off the streets, and it's a big thing to keep them doing at 10, 11-year-old.
Well, not yet, that's side. Vicky, would you want to answer that bit, looks like?
No, I'm not answering that question. I've got a step, 2 steps.
Well, hang on, so we need to answer that. Is it related to what the gentleman just asked?
No.
No, so I need to answer him first.
Yeah, of course.
So, as I've just said, you've just heard that we've not upped anything, so at the minute we don't know what's happening with anything, to be fair.
But what I'm saying is there's money in Western Terrace account to pay for these floodlights.
We have to look at all options. There's not somebody else was offered to help as well. So there's a lot of different options. In fact, there's more than 2 people.
Have you had meetings with everybody or just?
Not at the moment. I don't believe not.
From what I'm seeing, you've just had one meeting with one person over this.
I've not.
Talk to
Yeah, there's been a meeting with 2, I believe, at least, and I believe there's a 3rd one.
Third, Jason. Jason's offered.
Yeah.
Other Jason's offered.
I've offered to do it at cost.
Yeah.
Literally at cost.
Again, at the minute, there's not enough money to do it at the minute, and going forward. But it's not that we're not accepting. We're not just not accepting. There's lots of things we've got to do. Vicky?
£26 a month we pay as parents. I've got 15 kids.
No, but how much do you pay to council?
Dale, sorry.
How much do you pay a month?
I'll be brutally honest with you. Sandygate makes us nothing. It would be cheaper, even when you're paying full price, for us to shut Sandygate down. So it makes nothing. It makes nothing.
Can I just suggest then that you surrender lease on it? But we can't just surrender the lease because,
well, if you're saying it makes you more money, you can't afford to keep it. But we have just voted for no precept rise.
No, some of it has.
Why don't you just release it?
Because there's council buildings on there. Would you pay us for that? Would you buy the building for us? Off us? Come to the council, we're offered.
Release the lease.
But we can't discuss this openly, this needs to be done privately. Yeah. Vicky?
Right, so I've got, at the last meeting, there was a statement made by yourself, Ian.
What's that?
At the last meeting about staff selling beer.
I was going to make an apology.
Right, I'll leave you to do that then because staff are in the staff about it. The other one is in regards to you, Carol. Right, so in relation to on Facebook, you put about a critical incident at Fitzwilliam, and it wasn't a critical incident. You also said that nobody had been bothered, no staff. They had responded. So it's basically making the staff look bad, the staff feel absolutely rubbish, and they're constantly getting barraged on Facebook by councillors, and it's appalling, absolutely appalling.
To correct you on that, what a critical
incident.
Someone dead. Somebody sent in for an FOI and this information was released on Facebook. An FOI that got answered within 4 hours.
Hang on, go on. We're on about different things here.
No, you're not. No, you're not. You're on about the critical incident, which were under a police investigation, which were released to the public through an FOI after 2 hours.
Well,
Yes, it was. We've got
2
proof.
hours.
If you do not call a critical incident where there's
your advice, please.
if you do not call, the speaker doesn't work. If you do not call a critical incident where lives are in danger, somebody cutting a fuel tank on a petrol can, on a petrol van, and petrol's gone all over, that ain't critical.
No, you put sand down.
There were no sand there. I got a phone call at 7 o'clock. I got a phone call at 7 o'clock, despite what you're saying. I was the first phone call to be made.
So can we have some order, please? I'll stop
Can you
things.
just tell them it walked up to the centre?
Yes, it wasn't. So we've been told by the person who's available, it wasn't put at the centre. And he told us he did contact staff, and I believe he was appalled back to the staff.
And can I just point out, he also said it
And he
absolutely
stated
was
part of
not a
critical
critical
incident.
incident.
Sorry to interrupt, but there's a car that has damaged my car, and I assume the owner of said car is in this
I don't know, we're in the middle of a meeting, yeah? I don't know.
I know
This
you
is
are.
a public meeting.
Public meeting. It's a council meeting. So, Lynn will sort you all off. Oh, Cathy?
So we've had this vote regarding precept and saying that we don't want it to be put up zeros. Will you now be going back to Wakefield and explaining this to Wakefield and saying what has been voted will actually put this council now at risk of dissolving?
Insolvency, yes.
Can they actually follow the rule, what's being voted on, and say, no, really, you should be putting up the precept?
So they override?
Yeah, that they can overrule, yeah.
Wakefield Council can comment, by all means, but the decision lies with the Town Council.
They can't put forward, say, some recommendations. No.
This is the comments, and that's all I can do.
Chair,
Yeah.
So, we'll have to all sit down now, me and the chair will have to meet the clerk and discuss all our options. But it will consist now of cutting services, which is something that I didn't want to do. I don't want to cut services, I don't want to cut trips, I don't want to cut bonfire nights. But this is where we are now. And
so, Council Conway, you want to come in there?
Mine, that works. Does it work?
It's working.
Thank you. Just to reiterate, see, playing game going round here. My concern is all these people now come saying because I propose a 0% rise, right? That would propose, you know, the trouble you need, the insolvency isn't because of this 0, no, listen.
But it would have got you out of it.
9 months ago. 9 months ago you was warned about this. We cared about the staff 9 months ago. We told you there'd be no money to pay staff wages in January.
And we pay staff wages out of normal money without taking money out of any other account, so.
You had a emergency meeting.
No, yeah, but we haven't transferred that money yet.
Well, you said it took 3 days.
We've not been transferred yet because we didn't need to. So it's, the motion's there.
We've not paid back then.
Yeah, it's up to date, isn't it?
Up to date, yeah.
Everything's paid up to date.
It's up to date.
Today.
So £82,000 on 19th of January, on 19th of December is paid direct debits, wages and back payments for January.
One quick question to ask Councillor Begg.
Looking
into the future,
I think we have it.
Not a chance.
Jason,
two questions then. Well, suggestion and a question. Suggestion goes back to the precept. I missed that bit. I like getting here. Can I make a suggestion that the clerk consults an external specialist to look at the consequences properly of 0 increase on precept, bring it back to the next meeting?
The issue is we need to report to Wakefield what our precept rise is going to be tomorrow. So that's not an option. And that was explained within this meeting.
Yeah, sorry, I missed it. And the second one was, sorry, when it comes to the lights, I get the comment about it doesn't make money, so, and the way the council sat, it's a problem. Would the council be willing to forfeit the rent until it pays back the light? So, let's say the cost is 10 grand, would they be willing to forfeit the rent?
We cannot, that's the trouble of the motion.
There's more than West End that use it.
There's more than West End that use it, so, you know, would West End then want sole use or terriers, whoever you want to?
It's not giving them sole use, it's just using their money to pay back. Basically, the suggestion is, and what I'll put here, is if it's 10 grand at cost, give me a charge, I'll pay the 10 grand out, and they can pay me it back.
I suggest you make some meetings with the staff and we'll look into this.
I'm putting it forward, council decision.
But we cannot make that decision now, it's not a motion. That's how it. I'll be honest with you, it's our council's work. It
can be discussed though.
It can be discussed.
At the previous meeting, I'd managed to secure lights for free, and I didn't get that out. And we just go around in circles. There's 500 kids who can't play football, but we can argue over petty stuff. I know the council's got a met.
Can you please keep out of order, Councillor Bates, please, instead of just muttering away.
You know, the council's got to earn money, it's got to run. But there's 500 kids who, I tell you what happened, up in Sheffield, kids stabbing each other.
No. As I say, we need to look at now how we keep this Sandgate open. That is literally where we are on the decision that has been made tonight.
And not being funny, to all these councillors that have said no, do they understand what the consequences of their vote?
Absolutely. They don't care.
Yeah, that's
why we brought it up 9 months ago.
I believe they do. So we've only got 2 minutes for exclusions, so Maxine's had your hand for quite a while.
So, if you've got to put that into Wakefield,
yes,
and they come back with some thing, would you be able to get a special motion and get it back onto the agenda?
Just Wakefield won't.
Wakefield won't get involved. I mean, as I will say, as people are aware, there was a general meeting held yesterday with some members of the public. If more council had come, they'd have got the feeling that people understood we did need to increase.
They were too busy on Facebook.
I'm not sure of that. So, this lady here, can we have? This will be the last question.
Can I just ask, please, if the decision that's been made tonight about the precept, is that going to go out to the precept payers? Are they going to know why, when the council has to shut down, why it is?
Absolutely.
We've got to know. Got to know. And again, as I've said, it was stated at the beginning of the meeting that there's every chance that this could make the council insolvent. Councillors voting on that puts them, the council, not the councillors, but the council puts them at risk of being held liable for that. So I'm hoping they're prepared for that.
Precept payers need to know that.
Okay, so everybody, That's public question time. If it's a quick one, Julie.
Very quick one, on behalf of the Terriers, on behalf of what Jason said, has anybody been in touch with Sport England? I've brought it up at every meeting, Andrew.
We have been in touch with them, yeah.
Yes, we have been in touch with Sport England.
And are they willing to give any funding?
Well, there's a process to go through, which one? Yes, it is ongoing.
Can we call a meeting between West End, End of Town, Jason,
That's to
your leaders, to do with you and we did it last time where we spoke to them all and arranged stuff. So call a meeting, let you all do it, speak to these, come to an agreement.
Let's get these right sorted, because obviously time they get sorted, it's going into the summer, but at least it's ready for next autumn, winter.
We called it last time, it were all sorted.
Okay, everybody, thank you very much for your time. We're now going to exclusion press and public.